Hi, I'm Todd Anderson. Today I want to show you how to install the Truck Covers USA American work cover on this 2015-2016 Ford F-150 5.5 foot bed. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is get the toolbox into the bed. We highly recommend making sure that you have some help getting this thing in here because it's extremely heavy and it's very awkward. Now, once you get it in place, you want to make sure it's all the way up to the bulkhead, and then you want to center it on the bed cap side to side. All right, now we're going to loosely install our provided J-hooks on each side. We're going to open the lid on the toolbox. Now you're going to look inside here, you're going to see two slots. The rear slot is what you want to go to. What we're going to do is we're going to take our J-hook, reach up underneath the bed of the truck, make sure that hook is actually hooking onto the bed cap. Then we're going to take our provided washer, lay it on top of there, and then start our nut in place. All right, now we're going to use a 9/16 deep well. We're going to tighten it down, but not all the way, because we still want to be able to manipulate this cover a little bit. All right, so now that we've got a little bit of wiggle room with that bolt, we're going to do the other side the exact same way. All right, next we're going to go ahead and get our canister in place. We're going to line it up to the toolbox itself. Once we get it lined up, we're going to slide it underneath the toolbox. You have to lift up on the toolbox as you're doing this to get it in. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and center the canister side to side. If I've got this canister pushed all the way in, then I'll be able to see my first slot that we did not use for the J-hook. Now I will have a threaded hole underneath there where the canister is residing. Once I've got it centered, I'm going to use the provided bolts, place them through those holes. I'm not going to tighten it down all the way at this time yet though. I'm going to do that on both sides. Now I'm going to go ahead and put on the passenger side rail. The driver side rail is going to install the exact same way. The way you're going to identify it is you're going to have a spout, a downspout is towards the end of the rail, towards the tailgate. And then on the outside of the rail, facing the outside of the truck, you're going to have a long weather strip, just a flap seal that way. What we're going to do is we're going to hang that on top of the bed cap, and we're going to slide it up to the canister and cover. We're going to make sure the cover, the blank of the cover is going to slide into the rail, and then this portion is also going to slide into the rail as well. With both rails on, I'm going to go ahead and gently close the tailgate, making sure that they clear the tailgate. And then I'm going to use one of our spacers and make sure that the rails are 1/8 of an inch away from the end of the tailgate. Now with the rail set in place where we want it, we're going to go ahead and install the clamps. Now you're going to see you have a little notch in this portion of the clamp, and then if you look up in the rail, you got a slot cut into the rail. Well, that clamp is going to slide up into that slot, and then the notch is going to hang on the inside of that slot. We're going to hand tighten it for now. All right, now each rail has 3 clamps. I'm going to do the exact same thing with all 6 clamps. All right, now before you tighten those clamps down all the way, you're going to want to make sure you fit your shims up in place. Now in our kit, we've got 4 extra wide shims. We're going to use those in the 2 rear clamps on each side, and then the next widest shim we're going to use on the front clamp on each side. All right, once you have all the shims in place, we're going to go ahead and push down on the bottom of the clamp and tighten that up with a 9/16 inch wrench. All right, now we've got the rails attached and tightened down. We're going to go ahead and tighten down our J-hooks on both sides with a 9/16, and then we're going to tighten up our canister bolts with a 3/8. All right, next what we're going to do is we're going to use a 7/16 ratchet, and we're going to take out these 2 bolts right here for this bracket. We're going to take this bracket, we're going to turn it right side up. It actually ships upside down, but we want to be able to engage our locking mechanism. So we're going to put the same lock nuts right back in place on top of it. All right, now we're going to go ahead and test the operation of the cover. We're going to bring it all the way to the tailgate. Make sure the tailgate has plenty of clearance to open and close. Then we're going to take the cover and we're going to shift it side to side and make sure we have about an 1/8 inch gap on either side. If it shifts too much and comes unlatched on one side, then we're going to actually want to build up those shims to bring those rails in a little bit so it doesn't shift quite as much. All right, next what we're going to do is install our drain tubes. Now I've got one drain tube is going to go from the canister to my front kick-out hole. Now on the F-150, I've got a large kick-out hole that's right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel back bed tread, and I'm going to run this through that kick-out hole. I've already removed that. I did that when I installed the bed tread. And I can just attach the drain tube like so. And you do the exact same thing on the other side. Now for the rear drain tube, you've got a drain tube just going to slide right over top of the drain cup. Now the instructions are going to give you some nice large grommets. You can either drill a hole into the bed of the truck, insert that grommet in place, and then the drain tube actually fits right through that grommet. That's a great way to do it if you're going to drill. If you don't want to drill, another option, you just kind of slide that drain tube in between the tailgate and the bed of the truck. When you close the tailgate, you're still going to have enough room. It's not going to pinch that closed where water can't go through. That's where I'm going to do it for right now. Well, that concludes the installation. If you have any questions, call the experts. We're here to help you out.